Heidi that you guys are going to meet when I come back to the States is just going to be more confident and ready to do whatever I'm asked. I know that in the past when I started teaching positions, sometimes it's a little scary because you don't know the environment and you don't know the teachers who you're going to be working with, what the families are like. And here I just really love the diversity and seeing how the different types of families and where people live, and whether it's working at the orphanage or the public school. The kids are so eager to learn, and I'm definitely going to bring that back and share it with my colleagues.
We're here at Bosco School and Orphanage in a small village called Akute, Ghana, just outside of Abuja, which is the capital of the Eastern region.
So, what happens to the rain when it comes down?
When it rains, the plants get grown, and when the sun shines, it evaporates the atmosphere.
Because the roots that I was telling you about, all the stringy, dirty parts of the flower that are underneath the ground, it absorbs the water into the plant.
He has wobbly knees and turn up toes, and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. But who is this creature with terrible claws and terrible teeth? Oh help! Oh no! It's a Gruffalo! Don't call me good. I'm the scariest creature in this deep dark wood. He has purple prickles all over his back. Here, by this lake. And his favorite food is scrambled snake.
I talk about the program all the time, and the students come back to Wheelock and to Boston and so on with such glowing reports about how wonderful the experience was and how transformative their opportunities here were. They come here to teach, volunteer teach, in addition to learning a lot of other things about the history, culture, and various sites in Ghana and people.
Can I use yours as an example? Esther's apple is big. The apple is red and green. The apple gives energy, but doesn't grow in the winter, maybe, or in the rainy season.
Plastic kills them, and the net kills them, and so does the boats. Well, what do you do with the plastic bag? You throw them away, right? And it goes into the ocean, and that's what kills the turtles.
Yeah.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo. Mama shark, doo 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 doo. Daddy shark, doo 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 doo. Go for a swim. I run away. Try the net. I love the
The president of Wheelock College, who is a very supportive president, last year she decided to come and visit this site. And so she came here to Bosco and was absolutely touched. She decided there is something else we need to do in addition to having students come here and volunteer their teaching skills. So she wanted to help build the library, and this time to help furnish it with books. We brought books.
It's really important for me to just appreciate Jackie Jenkins Scott, the president of Wheelock. She met with me, heard me out, and listened to what I wanted to accomplish here. What I'm doing really isn't an established program yet, and I hope to make it an established program that so other people can come in the future and continue to teach English to these children. And Jackie heard my desire to do this, and she really listened and helped me make it here. developmental psych in early childhood. And I came on this trip last year, and I think I grew as a person a lot, and I'm just really excited to come back and visit old friends and meet new friends and learn more.
I'm enjoying it.
If I could get the
excited
$4
to be
back
here.
from everyone, then I can just put
Good. I need some sleep, but besides that,
any change.
What was tiring about the trip?
well, I've never been out of the country before, so just having to be on a really long flight and the time difference.
Do I have anything on my teeth?
I'm Kelly. I go to Emmanuel in Boston, next to Wheelock. And I decided to come here because I wanted a different study abroad experience.
Why West Africa? What's the significance?
I don't know. It just caught my attention.
So I'm Annika, and I just graduated a week ago too. I'm a human development major and focus in psychology. And I think I decided to come on this trip because I had taken Joyce's class for literature and history of the Caribbean, and we learned a lot about the melding of cultures and the loss of certain parts of culture. And then, I wanted to get, a different experience from the West African side of it instead of the Caribbean side of it. So just to be able to apply it all together and see really what the full picture was.
And I think that there's a lot of energy here in this group that's different, and I know that they will be learning a lot. They'll be leaving a lot as they go through the various experiences. And so I'm really upbeat myself, amazingly. Same thing applies to me. It's 9 o'clock at night. And I don't know how much sleep I got before, but I'm still wide awake. I'm very excited so far and ready to move forward with the program. I'm all right. How about you? Good. I'm wonderful.
The nursing crew.
The reason why they give Cipro to come down to places like Africa is because a lot of antibiotics make you sensitive to sun, and ciprofloxacin doesn't. You can be in the sun and not burn like a...
So that's the one.
Right? That's Elmina?
That's Elmina, yeah.
Totally gone this morning.
All this stuff has been here for hundreds of years, and so you can smell it, you can feel it. There's just a lot here, a lot more history. So for those of you in the States, if you say you're sitting in the classroom and you're learning history, you're not. There are many ways to learn, and reading is one, being told is another, but this is what knowledge is. So there's education, which someone else puts into your head, and then there's knowledge. And you can't be knowledgeable about this subject if you have not come to this place. I've been here a few times, and one thing that I always take away from here is just the marks on the walls, people scratching, and then also the waste, the human waste on the floor. And you think about we're walking on top of it, and you think it's concrete or something, bricks, but this is human waste. So imagine what people have to go through. That really sticks with me. So again, it's not the visuals so much, it's what you feel here.
Male slave dungeon, male dungeon, dumped into the ocean. They added the cannonball or the stone so that the body would sink. So sometimes the living struggled with the dead bodies in here. And they did everything to themselves in the dungeon. They defecated here, urinated, vomited. They ate, they slept here. So they were in their midst. In everlasting memory of the anguish of our ancestors, may those who died rest in peace. May those who return find their roots. May humanity never again perpetrate such injustice against humanity. We, the living, vow to abolish. The plaque I said was pasted by Ghanaian chiefs. 1992, female punishment cell. The Europeans developed the habit of raping some of the female captives. They were abusing some of the women sexually. And those who resisted, those who denied them sexual advances, about 8 of them were pushed to this small air, locked up with heavy metal door. Food, water, else to them to the water. Feces, urine, vomit, during the peak of the month, the ladies of Islam went into the water. 7 to 10 days, they were allowed to go back to the dungeons, just to punish them here. So next time, they will allow themselves to be raped, also to serve as an example to the world.
There's no room. It's hard to fit down.
Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Put it out.
Amuna yeye, koma, samakosa. Tanga tanga, umbusa tanga, ne samakosa. Nika so. Mama ko, mama sa, mama kosa, mama ko, mama sa, mama kosa, mama ko, mama sa, mama kosa, mama sa, mama kosa. Right on. Holy crap! Oh, wow. Mangita.
I want you to understand that you have a great privilege this afternoon to be with one of the greats of Ghana. In theater, literature, cultural tradition, you name it, we have in front of us Dr. Martin Owusu.
For those who are listening for the first time, let me first welcome you to the first country south of the Sahara Desert in Africa to gain independence from the British colonial rule. Akwaba.
Yeja.
No, welcome.
Yeja.
Ija.
Yeah, Eja. If it were George who said Akwaba, I say Ena, mother, or Eja, father.
I know that, like in the United States, if a family doesn't have the means to send their child to a private school or pay for private school, the government gives them free education. We have public school systems. And I was kind of wondering how it worked here in Ghana.
Very good, thank you. By law and by the Constitution, public education is supposed to be free. It is enshrined in our Constitution. But there are ways and means of letting parents pay fees under different names. They don't call it fees. They coin certain terms. By the time you realize they're paying very high fees. For many Americans who haven't gone out of America, and I lived there for 10 years. I lived in Boston for 10 years. I studied at Brandeis. The impression is that Africa is a country. It's a huge continent, the second largest continent, with 52 countries. We are not a United States yet. So Ghana is a sovereign country. Traditionally, we fuse music, dance, and drama together. This artificial separation of music part and dancing part is so artificial to us. We have been overtaken by Ivory Coast as the world's biggest producer of cocoa, chocolate. Why? We have bauxite, manganese, diamonds in this country, in the ground. We are still poor. No toothpick. We import toothpick. We import everything, including this. We have forest, timber. We export the raw wood. You come to my office now, there's a desk that was imported from Asia. Wood.
The U.S. was treating him very badly. They called him a radical communist, everything. They took his passport from him because he was speaking the truth and never bit his tongue about anything. So they took his passport for a while, for a number of years, so he couldn't travel and had him on this crazy red list, black list, whatever the case might be. And when he got his passport back, he left the country. He expatriated himself completely, and he said, he was not hopeful that the United States would ever do right by black people.
This is the place that he passed away. He died in this place one night on the 26th of August 1963. I came to sleep and no wake up again.
This letter says doctor because he has on the title doctor, and as we all know, Chinese and Ghanaian had that relationship back then, and I believe this was sent in honor of his knowledge and, well, the work that he does.
Well, we were back in Accra after coming from Cape Coast, and we went to the diaspora, and then we went to go to W.E.B. Du Bois Museum, which is also his house here in Ghana when he lived here. Well, personally, my grandmother Joyce, who is like the leader of this whole group, she donated to have a plaque made for my great-grandmother, my great-grandfather on the wall in the diaspora to show her support for all the ancestors who have come here and everything. And also, being a black woman, W.E.B. Du Bois is a huge part of having me be able to be free and just be the person I am in America today without having to fear like any racial judgment, even though I still do, but not as much as there was in the past.
Even though they never came to Africa, their presence is here anyway. And you can see a lot of people. This is who've come here and have contributed. A grandson of Carter G. Woodson, George H. Woodson. A lot of very, very famous people who've come through here.
I mean, I'm learning so much about myself just being here. Even like I came here before, but like I was young, so now that I'm older, I'm actually appreciating and understanding everything that's happening, and I really am finding who I am and just realizing little things that it's like I'm connecting to that I never thought I would before. Like in the the temple for his burial, they have little chairs that the people, like local Ghanaians, made, and there's a symbol that's like is about peace and love, and I really connected to that for some reason. Now I just like want that like in my life, and I don't know. So it's just like you find simple things that you never thought you would, that you just connect to and make you feel like you're at home here.
So it's people who want to come here and go into business. For example, if you decided you want to come here and open a school or open a clinic or do something like that, or go into some kind of business, you could come through here as Americans. You'll see them, not over here or on the other side or whatever.
Wasn't too scared either of the times, but and I think people in our group did pretty well. But there was a few people in front of us that seemed to be a little nervous, and everyone really worked together to get them through it and just tackle their fears.
I love it. I love it.
How many times have you been?
Twice.
Okay.
And this nature, like, look at this. When do you ever get to see such an abundant nature anywhere? And apparently there's monkeys in morning and night.
Yep.
We gotta come back early. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
So refreshing. I love it.
Wait, what are you doing? You can do that?
Oh my god, that's delicious.
Sometimes your brain is telling you something because that's what you've read, but your spirit tells you, look further, or check again, or go back again and check on something. And that day, that's what happened with this baby. My book knowledge told me this was septicemia, give antibiotics, but there was something about the child that my spirit kept saying.
What advice would you have for like any medical professional that wants to have a career?
Where do you want to have your career?
Or I'd like to do with like Nurse Without Borders, or I'm minoring in public health. So kind of how to start off your career, I guess, or any advice you would have.
Keep as broad a spectrum as possible. If you don't speak another language, learn one. If you can take an internship period to engage and marry yourself in something, I would also recommend that. Would love to have you here if you want to consider it.
We're with Dr. Juliet at her clinic, and she just talked about how one of the main diseases that she sees here is malaria, and she also talked about how we can be preventative. Yeah, so she has these bags that she gives out to the communities, and there's different repellents that they can use. There's the bed nets.
It's not funny. And even if they survive, the research that's coming out of East Africa is showing there's up to a 30% decline in intellectual capacity if they have recurrent malaria because of the intense anemia and destruction that occurs in the brain. That is not funny for something that is preventable. Okay? And when you look around West Africa, one of the problems you'll find is that the youth, we have young people, we're not old. Okay, 60% of any population in any country in West Africa are young people. under, say, 25 years of age.
And a big thing that she talked about that I've seen in my nursing education and in my public health education is about being a change agent. And a big part of being a change agent is being preventative. And I like that she stressed, that approach to medicine. Also, it seemed to me that she talked about spirituality. When you're in medicine, I found this very interesting, because I would like to do work abroad and to work in a public health setting.
They stand upright, barefooted. But the significance of water as a source of life in the system of belief of mankind over here is merely a montage on the horn for brevity of time. However, water flows continuously from the horn, so it is an internal life of the carbon. Though it's dead, we still believe that it's still alive. And it was kept at a small town for almost 50 years. So after 50 years, that's when discussion came of something in the budget that looking at what he has done for Ghana, even for Africa, we should be building a religion area. And at the same time, this place was established for him. At the completion of this place, his mother village was moved down here. But unfortunately, the body was then decaying. So that's when we decided to bury him finally. So he was moved from the original coffin that brought him back into a wooden one and finally buried. This statue was molded for him when he was a leader of Ghana. And the statue used to be in front of the old Parliament House, the building just across the street. So it is during the coup that the statue lost his head, arm, fingers, and part of leg. So the statue is immortal like this, so that when people come, the statue can tell his whole story.
Ok. Je vous souhaite bienvenue ici à la porte du non-retour.
I welcome you here to the gateway of no return.
Nous sommes à Ouiga.
We're at Ouiga.
Ouiga, c'est une ville historique.
It's a historic town.
Celui qui a écrit que vraiment en Afrique, il y a les hommes costauds, les hommes valides, mais lui n'est pas sûr que nous sommes des hommes.
L'évêque, a priest who came here in the 9th century and found Africans here, but he wasn't certain that that Africans were actually people, were actually men.
Il dit peut-être nous sommes des singes.
And perhaps they were big monkeys or something.
Pourquoi? Parce que nos parents, il n'y avait pas des rasoirs pour enlever des barbes. Ils sont des barbes avec des cheveux noirs.
Because they kept their hair, I guess, like Rasta style, and they didn't shave their skin.
C'est comme ça, les Portugais, ils ont constaté que vraiment, il faut découvrir la côte.
And so they came to the understanding that, well, we really need to discover this coast. They took the branding iron and they marked G on their back.
Voilà. On devait ligoter les esclaves bien attachés comme ça.
So they were all forced on their knees and tied or handcuffed like that.
Donc le maca, ça se fait au dos ici.
And then the branding iron was placed on their back.
Les esclaves crient. Ah!
So maybe they cried, like that.
Ils devaient aller chercher du bois.
So they went and they got some wood.
Bois coupé comme ça. On met le col d'ici, col d'ici.
They put a cord there and a cord here.
On met dans leur bouche.
Put it in their mouth. You saw it already back there.
Comme vous voyez.
Right there, so you can see. President of the NGO, the man who organized all of this for us, but she's also a teacher. Very nice lady. And she's
At primary school there.
She works up at the other school.
Today is exam day.
Yes, I heard.
That's the reason we cannot work over there.
That's all right.
Cookies. You're welcome.
Ils sont inscrits dans une autre université à côté de Wheelock, mais c'est un nombre d'universités qui forment un ensemble, une collaboration des institutions qui viennent de Singapour. Ils sont venus directement de Singapour à Accra. Mademoiselle Shah, c'est Mademoiselle Kelly et Mademoiselle Sarah Harrison. Okay. Mademoiselle Nadja Hope Edwards, Mademoiselle Tamami Katauka of the Wheelock College, okay. Et puis Mademoiselle Annika Hansen, Mademoiselle Heidi Hansen.
Okay. Contact avec les enfants là, pendant 2 heures.
So you're going to work with them for about 2 hours.
Et puis une pause café.
And then we'll have a coffee break.
Et après on reprend jusqu'à midi.
And afterwards you come back and work with them until noon.
Yeah.
2 people will work with this group here, and then the other people will work with the other groups at this level, and then there'll be 2 people who will be working in the daycare.
5, excellent. 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ok, c'est la première chose. Répétez après moi. A, B,
F, G, H, I, J, K, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, N, 8, 9, 10, and then I let it go again. Why did you let it go? Because it bit my finger, so which finger did it bite? This little finger on my right.
Professor Joy. Manger. Manger. Yeah, eat, right? Manger?
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
They do the hands as well?
Eyes.
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 Qu'est-ce que c'est? Nose.
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 No.
Head.
Head.
Oui. A. Eyes.
Eyes.
Oui.
Goodbye. 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 Bye. Bye.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, you guys
They
are
love
adorable.
you. Holy crap.
Which is weird because I really
there's
didn't
50
do
Cent.
much.
Oh. Did you press record button?
This is like a tradition that they do.
He has one of my
Is it recording?
They're gonna get tired of it soon, hopefully.
Being here and just teaching in Benin is great because it helps you learn how to think on your feet. I even have it on my resume now from last year that I have the versatility and flexibility to be able to just create and think on my feet. And I think that's a really, really great thing as a teacher, just to be able to step out of your comfort zone and just soak it in and just go from there. So I've definitely worked on my flexibility and jumping in wherever they throw me.
Tu as vu le ciel, non? Merci pour tous les jours. Je ne sais pas si les hommes me... Oh, ça y est. Tu sais ce que je viens de dire?
Ça va?
The cane in the outfit and the one that he has on his shoulder, what is the significance of them? Like, what is the meaning behind it?
Okay, don't.
Jangan yau. Apa ada? Video mana? Ada. Dia mau beli. Ini dua orang.
You look at it, you see that animal on it.
Les perles qui s'amassaient au cou.
The beads that are on his neck.
Ce n'est pas des perles qu'on arrive à trouver au marché.
It's not something you can buy in the marketplace.
C'est des perles des ancêtres.
They are the beads of the ancestors, ancestral.
Donc c'est un héritage qu'il a ça.
It's an heritage.
Chaque fois on laisse pour ceux qui arrivent
It's a
après.
heritage that comes down. It's like the crown jewels in England.
So I spoke with the directors of the school yesterday, and that's who I'm going to be living with. And they created a room for me already, and they're ready for me to come. They're already asking me all my favorite foods and just trying to make me comfortable. And so what I'm going to be doing is teaching Monday to Friday from about 8 to 12 every day. And I'll be doing, I'll have 15 classes for myself. So each class I'll teach for about an hour each, and then I'll just move on to the next class. So it should be a little overwhelming at first, but I'm really stoked to start my way. He's not alive.
Buongiorno. Hey.
Japanese American, Swedish American.
Okay.
The size of probably 10. I've had as high as 21.
Oh, well, okay.
And, 15, this is a relatively small group. It's 8 people, 8 students. But it's, I would say, average 10.
Okay.
Average 10, yeah. On this trip, that they've come to Africa, and they've come up here, Cape Coast. So I don't know, I can't even count all the people from Wheelock who come, but
It's a great introduction to the motherland, ain't it?
it's been great. I think they had a wonderful time. Anybody who's come, they've all enjoyed it. But what's not to enjoy?